Hello and greetings. Welcome to your 20-minute vertical core. This is fusing Pilates, barre, and also a little bit of power posing for confidence boosting. You really don't need anything other than a positive attitude for this routine. But if you like, you could grab a mat, some water, maybe a towel, and maybe a furry friend. Feet are a little wider than the hips, knees are soft, and let's start reaching the arms up with an inhale and exhale, more knee bend on the way down. Inhale, stretch and reach and look up, and exhale, soften the knees as we lower down. We're going to move into a side bend, reaching one arm up and over, and switch. One more time each side. Keeping tailbone heavy, knees a little bit bent, and gaze a little bit upwards. And let's come back to the center, stretching those arms to a T. Bring the legs together and let's start a torso twist. Try to keep your knees nice and still and the hips stable as we exhale, twist, looking behind you. And let's take one leg out to the side and begin a pendulum leg swing, bringing that leg forward and sweeping it out to the side, nice and wide. About 8, 9, maybe 10 times, and we'll switch. Try to keep your arms nice and strong in this T-shaped position. And the bottom of my foot is just skimming the floor very little bit. And then we're going to keep the pendulum leg going forward and back. And I have the arms forward and still, or you can let the arms move naturally by your side. And stand nice and tall. Let's try to release that hip a little bit. And come back to the center. Squeeze the shoulders up. And exhale, release, shake it all out. Couple more times, lifting the heels as we shrug and exhale. Drop it down. Let's ground that energy. And if you like, if you're finding a little challenged with the standing balance, you can always use your favorite chair to help support you throughout some of these moves, or even if you have a roller, a Pilates foam roller. Sometimes this is handy for a little extra support. Or if not, you can just use nothing at all, and that would be the biggest challenge for your core. So we're going to start with external rotation and taking one leg forward in front of us. We're pointing and flexing, and we're circling the foot around 4 or 5 times each direction, just starting to warm up through the legs. And we'll take it to the other side, pointing and flexing, trying not to lean back, keeping that posture in place, and rotating from the ankle, circling the foot. Both directions. And bringing hands to the hips, we'll keep our external rotation, heels together, toes apart. Take one leg forward and let's start to kick up and lower down. Try not to lean back, so let's tighten the tummy a little bit, keep the core connected. And take the leg out to the side and the arms into a T shape, palms forward. And tapping the toe down and kicking it up. About 8 times. And we'll take the leg behind us here. Try not to pitch yourself forward. Try to keep the posture lengthening up to the ceiling as you go. And we'll take this whole sequence to leg number 2, starting with hands on the hips. We'll kick that leg forward like you're showing off your inner heel. Try to keep the external rotation for this one. And we'll send it to the side with those T arms. So you're opening the knees away from each other, rotating from the hips. And we'll try bringing that leg back behind us using our glutes, our hamstring, a little bit of low back work here. And I've got a little point in that kicking leg, in the foot of the kicking leg. Come back to the center. Let's inhale, reach up, and exhale. Little plie, little bend at the knees as we lower down. Little tribute to ballet world. And come back to the center. So now let's turn the legs parallel. So our stance is parallel, no more turnout, and we're going to draw parallel circles in front of us. Try to balance here. You'll feel a lot of work in that supporting leg. It's a really good ankle, knee, and hip strengthener on that supporting leg. So about 8 circles both directions, and we're going to do the same thing out to the side with those T arms. 8 circles. And the other direction. Then we're going to bring the leg behind us. Instead of circles, we're going to do little pulses here. So just little controlled pulses, couple inches up, couple inches down. See if you can keep the legs still and start to flutter those arms like the Pilates swimming exercise. And then come back to the center. Let's repeat that sequence in our parallel stance on the other side. Taking the leg forward, find your balance and begin the circle motion. Working through the thighs and the hips, and the core has got to do all that balancing work. And we're going to inhale, open it out to the side with those T-shaped arms and continue our circling. Keep the knee of your supporting leg a little bit soft, like a little micro bend. And let your tailbone feel just a little bit heavy and your tummy feel a little bit tight. And then let's take the leg behind us now. Find your balance. You're going to tip forward just a little bit and begin those pulses, about 8 of them. Keep the abdominals lifting in, lifting up. Hold the leg steady and let's start to flutter the arms up and down. And then inhale, return to center and let it go. Release. Let's go back to some breathing here. Inhaling up. Exhale, lower. Got a wider stance back to the external rotation now. And drop one shoulder forward, looking up to the ceiling over the opposite shoulder. And switch. You can let that hand push the knee a little wider. Feel a stretch through the inner thigh and groin. And then come back to the center. Let's come back to our external rotation, heels together, toes apart, hands on hips, and take one leg forward in front of you. Find your balance, and we're going to start to semicircle that leg to the side and behind us. I call this around the world. See if you can maintain your balance, but of course, if you need to tap the toe down at any point, of course you can do that. 4 more, and I'm just opening the arms into a T shape. Stand nice and tall. And then bring that toe pointing at the opposite knee and open that knee all the way to the side. Lift the arms to the sky. If you can look up, extra balance challenge. And let's let it go. Side number 2, around the world, hands on hips, standing tall. So start to glide that leg to the side and back and keep the flow, keep the leg in motion so it's never stopping. It's just a controlled motion as you balance and breathe and focus. And once you've done about 8, let's point the toe to the opposite knee. Knee points directly to the side. Lift those arms up and overhead, maybe looking up, extra balance, challenge, and a nice, slow and controlled release. Good job. Shake it out. Let it go. Taking our legs wider, our feet wider than hips. We're going to start to bend down here. Knees pointing in opposite directions. So just want to see that your tailbone is not sticking up too high. Let's drop the tail and zip up the abs and try to keep the shoulders on top of the hips here in this straddle position. Okay, it's a constant reminder for some of us. Okay, so we're going to just begin by stretching the legs up and then bending down. Just some nice second position pliés for my ballet people out there. So I like exhale to press up, inhale to bend down, but as long as you're breathing, I'm happy. Arms to the side, and now we are going to try bending the knees, popping up the heels, then straightening the legs and lowering back down. So bend, heel pop, straighten, heel drop. And we're going to reverse that. Straighten the legs, pop the heels, bend the knees, drop the heels, about 4 times each. And bending the knees, let's do little pulses here, down an inch, up an inch. You can bring the hands back to the hips if the shoulders are getting tired. And then pop one heel, keep it up as you continue the pulsing. And then switch sides, about 8 pulses here. Happy thoughts. Arms into a T, and let's try both heels popping up and still continuing the pulses. Heels stay high as we straighten the legs and arms to the sky. So inhale, bend, and exhale, press to the top. Inhale, bend, and exhale, press to the top. Good. And then lower the heels. See if we can keep that low squat position for a little extra burning. And then release. Good. Shake it out. Let it go. Everything's great. Everything's awesome. You're awesome. I'm awesome. And hands on the hips. Parallel legs. We're going to do a little bit of knee strengthening here. So you're going to lift the toes and lift the heels. Lift the toes and lift the heels. You're shifting your weight a little bit forward and back, but be careful we're not sticking the bum out to lift the toes. So let's keep our posture, let's keep our core connection, let's keep that tall, elongated spine, and continue lifting the toes and lifting the heels. So you'll feel some work throughout the front of the ankles and the shins, and then the back of the ankles and the calves. And this work travels all up through the legs and affects actually our whole body because the feet are our foundation. Now just lifting the toes, lifting up and up, keeping the heels planted. Try lifting the toes, the balls of the feet, and now alternate side to side. Nice and tall. And let's go back to our external rotation and continue lifting the toes and then lifting the heels. And when I say lifting the toes, try to also lift the balls of the feet. Good. Stretch the arms into a T shape. You can do it. We're going to keep the heels lifted here. Let's try to maintain our balance and bring the hands to the top of the head. Let the crown of the head lift up into those palms. And if you can, we're going to bend those knees, and you're never going to guess. We are going to pulse it out with high heels and focus. Controlled breath. Great. Stretch it up high to the sky, arms and legs long, and then take your time, lowering it back down to the center. Inhale, let's stretch up, and exhale, lower into that plie or that knee bend. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Good, we're going to reverse the breath, so you're going to reach up as you bend the knees with your inhale, and exhale, straighten the legs and lower. Just a little bit of coordination and extra concentration. Let's go back to that wider second position stance, opening up our toes and our knees and the arms wide to the side. We're going to begin some power posing now. So take up a lot of space here. Really lengthen those arms, feel some activation across the chest. Pop the heels up away from the floor if you want that challenge. And drop the heels and lift the arms up a little higher. So power posing is really great for mood boosting and confidence boosting. We're even going to maybe look up if that feels okay in our neck and just feel confident and comfortable and like you belong in this space. Usually as women, we're always trying to be smaller and wrap our arms around our body and cross our legs. So this is really sometimes psychologically a little challenging for us. So breathe through it. Stay open. Stay present. Stay with your breath. You belong here. You belong in this space. And finally, bringing hands to the hips, our last power pose. You can pop those heels up one more time. Feel the heart lift, the crown lift, the tail drop, the breath flow. You can always bring the heels down anytime. And let's bend those knees and just start a bit of a lunge side to side. Try not to let your knee pop too far over the toes here. Keep your alignment, stretch the arms to the T. Let's go back to our power posing arms throughout this lunge. And hold over to one side for a few little pulses here. Keep heels heavy. Take it to the other side and bring it to the center. Push those palms forward and let's do a little bit of abductor work here, the back of the hips, the side and back of the hips by pulsing those knees back. The emphasis is back, back, back. Drop it a little bit lower. Lift the arms a little higher. It's like our grand finale here. And hold and breathe and power pose those arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, return. Inhale, lift up. And exhale back to the center. And we're just going to make the legs parallel. A little bit more of a squat. Arms up and arms down. Exhale, stand. Inhale, drop it down. And give it a good little shake, 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 shake it out. Let it go. Release any tension, tightness, negativity. Let it just dissipate. And grab your favorite glass of water. And enjoy. You deserve it. Good job. See you next time.